Hello, 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 welcome. Welcome to another stream. um, yeah, today I want to do a couple of things. Well, first of all, I'm not sure how long I will stream, to be honest, because I'm a little bit tired. But the good news is tomorrow I have a day off, so we will do a stream tomorrow, which hopefully should be longer. I didn't really do anything off stream except for playing around a little bit with Unreal to see how the texture looks there. And then I as well did a debug rendering here. And yeah, that looks interesting because that looks almost as if we are not doing a proper mipmapping here. Which is interesting because everything is basically so yeah, something is weird and something is not correct. I'm not sure why though. Let's open a browser again. Just to be sure that we're not doing something stupid, let's check one of the sources where I have the DDX and DDY calculation from. Ray differentials and texture. Yeah. That should be what I have, right? T is the distance. Then we have ray direction x times ray direction and the hit number divided by ray direction and hit number minus the ray direction. That should do it. I'm wondering if I do that, if that actually moves, because I don't think it does, right? I think it just moves them, but it's still wrong. Oh, actually, that's a little bit better. Or I say it's a little bit better, but I mean that is definitely Slightly better. I'm not quite sure what that is. Why it would look like that. And then is why it looks so weird. Is another issue. No, not like that. So that should be fine, right? That's the same that he does there, I think, right? So let's go to the shader. RDX. Oh my god, RDX, please. Oh, where does he set them? Wait, there is an RDY here. Ah. Okay. Record +1 and +1 here, yeah. But then this is weird. Oh no, he does it here as well, okay. Or good. Or adds up. The only thing he normalized, but I mean it should already be normalized, right? Yeah. The only thing is no, that should be fine. I think. The only question is why is that minus here? Ah, because it's minus here as well. Okay. Yeah. That's all fine, I think. Well, we're not doing anything different then. But even with that, I think it looks wrong. Even with that, it looks wrong. Am I doing something weird with the normal again? No? Oh yeah, I do. The numbers still look kinda weird. The number still looks scuffed. I have no idea why. The rest is kinda okay, I would say. Was that what I wanted to do? No, right. I think I wanted to do... wait. I'm not sure how I wanted to do that. No, never mind. Hey, Tevon XD. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Penguin Operator. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really not sure what's going on there. But I think for today I will not be investigating that too much further. Is that now fixed up there again? Yeah, okay. Well, let's be restart, please. Thank you. Damn, 15 watch streak. Nice. Yeah, I still need to look what the normals are. I mean, what we can definitely do is the fade again. Shading normal is a lerp between our shading normal and our hit normal. And that is basically, how did I want to do that? Hit distance minus 1000. We would need to expose that. But that should basically fade out the normal in the distance. Why would that not have worked? Oh, okay, now it works. Is it ugly? Yes, it is. Oh wait, actually then. Does that mean? Oh, come on. Just compile the shit already. Yeah, no, it's... But here it looks good then. Okay, so the mip mapping now seems to work at least. But something with the normals is still weird. This looks good. This doesn't look so good. Maybe? One more try. Let's try something, because I still need to do one thing. Give me a second. I need to do something on the second monitor for a second. Oops. Okay. It's going okay-ish. A little bit tired today, so I'm not sure how long we will do a stream for. But yeah, let's see. How about you yourself? How are you? Where did I want to go? Not there. I want to go somewhere else with my brain. Mutable descriptor type. I don't think I used that. Where would I see that? But I don't think I do. So my descriptor were bindless. Descriptor thing. I have like one set per, or like not one set, but this is my pool, how I allocate it. Slang has 2 modes for bindless. Ah, okay. No, I think I use bar. I can't say, to be honest. Not sure. I think I cannot answer that. I would need to read up what the difference is to be able to give you an answer for that. There was something I wanted to do. Before. Oh, Jesus. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I remember. Default terrain probably. Let's add that back in. And then let's remove the shaders again so that they are recompiled. And I think the mip mapping now kinda works. We can still tweak it. But yeah, the mip map should work. It's now, I think, the normals that are still an issue. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, yeah, that looks decent. It's maybe a little dark. We could probably make everything a little bit more bright. Or I don't know. Looks a little bit hard to say with the colors, to be honest. One thing we could try is render terrain. I think I have a sky. Yeah, a sun illuminance. What if we do 4.8 or like 5.8? Let's do that. Something like that. Wouldn't that make it warmer? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I can't say what I'm using. I really hate when he does that. Yeah, I'm not sure what a good sun illuminance value would be. But maybe that looks a little better? I don't know. Well, it's maybe too red, right? I guess we could. And maybe... Or maybe what we need to do as well. What happens if we turn up the ambience? So that the black is not... Did it do it again? No, don't think it did. Oh, it did do something again. I hate it. Now I can try to find out. pain and despair. I'm really wondering what the best value to be for all of this. That's too little, right? And the dark color here is really annoying. It's too much. And I think if I do a 10F, that's way too bright, probably. Yeah. But the dark here is definitely too much. Maybe I need indirect bouncing, right, for this to work. Like indirect light to look correct. Maybe that all doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I mean, that looks pretty good, except for the normal, of course, but otherwise the mipmapping now works. Yeah, it kinda is that. You could see it as that. Indirect lights, yeah. It's basically how the light bounces off, right? So that it still colors the back face or whatever. Like, not back face, but yeah. How light bounces off of other things. Let's try to fix that. I have a last straw that we can try of things. Then let's hope that this fixes it, otherwise I'm not looking forward to the debug session, let's say that. Where would I want to put it? I could put it in compute, I could put it in editor technically. Maybe we put it in compute, I don't know. Generate maps. Not slang. Why did I do that? I've never done underscores, so why start now? And yeah, then here, well, we basically need a standard compute. What the hell? A standard compute shader. Do we have one? I think the easiest one would probably be... Where would it? Probably in lighting? Well, maybe not the easiest one, but one is here. We can use that one. Get rid of that. Yeah, we definitely need push constants. Not sure what we need yet, but most likely yeah, the all lowercase I got from which engine did I get that from? Was it Snowdrop? Like Ubisoft? Maybe. Or the one that I worked on. Well, maybe it was the one that I worked with now the last year. I can't remember anymore. We do 8 and 8 here. It really depends. It's just a matter of like whatever you prefer, right? To be honest, I was doing a... Is it Pascal case as well before? Which one is Pascal case? I always forget. Pascal case, the one that starts small and then does like everything upper, like or thing uppercase the next words basically. So yeah, snake case is clear. That one I kinda knew. What is... Oh, okay. I didn't know kebab case. Oh, okay. Ah, Pascal case is the one that starts with an uppercase as well. Okay. I see. So the difference between Pascal and camel case is just the start letter. Okay. Then well, for files I usually did Pascal case as well, yeah. In the past. But mostly I went away from it. I mean, no, that's not really a reason, but mostly I went away from it because I hate like case sensitive paths. So, and then at that point I'm like, why even have an uppercase in there if I always want to convert everything to lowercase anyways to like evaluate if it's there or not. But yeah, I don't know. It's, I guess, a matter of... Yeah. I mean, there is no right and wrong, right? It's just all a matter of taste. U and 32T. Source, I guess. And then destination, I guess. Like, or like base map maybe. Maybe base map is wrong, right? Let's do in texture, out texture maybe. I don't... I mean, technically it's not an ID, it's an index. Whatever. And we need some push constants here as well. One would be the size. U into, I guess, dimensions. Or extends. And that's about it. Input includes color. I think we will add that. Oh. What was generate MIPS? Yeah. And then data shaders includes. So I think I have, yeah, exactly. I have this here. Where do I have that in? Do I even have that already? I think not, right? Yeah, okay, so we basically need to add that common.h. I mean, we could as well. Wait, how do I again? No, it's yellow. Okay, it's okay. RGB. What is BVAC? Slang migration. What is BVAC? GLSR? I wrote that so long ago, I don't even, and maybe I got that vector of booleans, okay. Does it even exist? Here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Why did it not? Whatever. So what was it? Ah, just bool and then the number, okay. Oh my god, why did I change it again? Oh, wait. Slay. That's why. Okay. Then this is a float 4 as well. I could have, of course, done a search and replace. That would have probably been faster, or not probably. But might as well get a little bit used to the Vim options, right? Less than GLSL less than I hate my mouse. I'm not sure what that would be. I guess we could as well try it out. This is equivalent to that. Okay, so it's just a I mean, that's nice, I guess. The first thing I like more in HLSR than in GLSR. Not a lot of things, but That is nice. Maybe I like lerp the term more than mix, but I mean that's a small one. Okay, and then this float 4 as well. LSP restart. Is that not working? I mean, it seems like it is, yeah, but I didn't want to assume. I don't trust this anymore. And then I cannot lerp between that or what? So I guess I could do that maybe. No, I was really busy at work. I barely had time to watch, unfortunately. Anything nice that he got to work, or was it still pain and suffering? Yeah, so unfortunately didn't have time. I love it. Oh, okay. Well, isn't that standard already? Isn't that pretty much what he does from time to time? Sure. As I said, I'm super tired. But nonetheless, shader. No, that's wrong. Sorry. Shader was there, right? Oh, here. Shader compute. Perfect. So what we want to do here is int 2 pixel coordinate is int 2 of, well, that's not the GL invocation index, right? GR Glover, or it's SV dispatch thread ID. Where do we have that already? Probably in create byte clusters. Okay, maybe not that one. Okay, not here. Update light clusters maybe? Somewhere I think I use it. Okay, I don't. Maybe I don't. What was it? Dispatch thread ID. Dispatch thread ID, thank you. He complained about setting up another pipeline. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he complained as well when he had the issue with the UI, right? That he had to create a new... that he needed to do a descriptor update when he reallocated the image for the UI when he resized the window, I think it was. And I'm like, yeah, that's I mean, that's just how it works. You have to live with that. Constants out extends x, or pixel coordinate y greater or equal to constants out extends y. Okay, so that guards us for that. And then we have our int2, or well, that is, I guess, the out coordinate maybe. Let's be a little bit more specific here. I guess we could make it uint as well, because why not? It can't be negative anyways. And then we have here in, or like source pixel coordinate, which is our out pixel coordinate times 2. Now we have a u and 2, and it's basically 2 by 2, right? So C00 the min between our source pixel coordinate plus and this looks weird, but yeah, that's basically constants in extends -1 to in last pixel coordinate actually, sorry, pick this one. That's that. And then we do a float for what is an image load? Okay, just the coordinate. Oh, that's nice. Well, guess I would need to do a descriptor handle then. Texture Is it texture 2D? No. Endless. Oh no, it is probably a texture 2D. Or... yeah, it's probably a texture 2D. With the alt texture ID as the index. The thing is that Blit image doesn't work for normals. That's why I need to write a custom one. We will use Blit for everything that's not a normal texture. Not my day today. No, yeah, I mean, but it was not too exhausting this week. It was just a couple of longer days, mostly because I wanted to get stuff done. I'm on like switched project to a new project, and I wanted to get some stuff done before, because on Monday now I have a day off, and we will do Onyx tomorrow, during the day. So I want to take a couple of Mondays off again and basically work on Onyx on those Mondays. And I wanted to get something done before Monday, so I had to stay a little bit longer on Friday and the days before. I mean, not that someone pressured me to do it, but yeah, it was more me wanting to finish something. Yeah. So we unpack the normals here. Then we do float 3 average is our normal. All our normals added together, divided by 4, of course, or like actually, sorry. We probably just take the, like, we normalize it most likely. Okay. That's unfortunate, right? I want to call that length, but that doesn't work. times save. Or yeah, it doesn't really matter what save reciprocal have our length. Then we include here, and well, actually instead of matrix functions. He is not. I mean, he jokes that he is, right? No. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was not really feeling it today, but I said that I stream, and I want to keep that somewhat, even though the streams may be shorter, but I want to get stuff done. And I still have the overall goal that at the end of the year the engine is in a nice place. Not sure if I can still keep that with all the streams that I missed in between, but let's see. But actually I was talking with my CTO in the company on Friday, because he was asking me what I will do on Monday, and then I told him what he didn't know, that I work on the side on something like that, because I didn't spend too much time with the CTO yet, so we didn't came to talk. Then I explained him what Onyx can already do, and he was kind of impressed already. It feels like the engine is like can't do a lot, but then when I describe to some people what the engine is already capable of doing, it's actually, to be honest, kind of impressive what it can already do, but it just doesn't feel like that because I'm so close to it that I only see the issues that it has. But yeah. But it's the same in all the game projects I work on, usually at work as well. When you're so close to a project, you don't really see how good it is. Yeah. Again, as I said, on Friday I described it to my CTO, and then I realized, I mean, he as well said like, damn, that's already a lot what the engine can do, and I was like, oh yeah. I mean, if you put it like that, and the way I basically listed all the things that it can already do, it is a lot. It's just that, as you said as well, an engine is a lot of work, and there is so much you need to do. That yeah. Oops, that's wrong. We do here a float for result normer. And then we put that into the result image. So basically we do another source. We could do that up here already. Out texture. Did I? Oh, sorry. That's the text. And then we do alt texture at alt pixel coordinate is our result norm. Oh god, what did I do there? Read write texture 2D, please. I'm not sure if I even if I even support that. Might need a new descriptor set for that. Okay. I think that should be fine. Ish. Then we need to go to Vulkan storage, or texture storage, I guess. And then the issue is, how would I... So first of all, let's fix that, because while we are at it, we might as well fix that. I think those are not even used anymore. Those transition functions. Okay. Percent as image, we do to m_image. Okay, that should have done that. Let's fix that. All right. Release, thank you. And texture storage. Need to change that. What is that? Sorry. Wanted to copy link. No, I don't know that. GitHub. Okay. No, man, that looks kind of nice. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay. I mean, couple of things that I kind of dislike about the UI, but otherwise pretty impressive. Is that kind of new or what? Not really, 4 years ago. It's pretty old already, I guess. Oh, but it's nice, yeah. It has a lot of tools as well. That's cool. We talked about a hybrid approach to ECS and object hierarchy. Okay, I can look at it later. I don't know, I mean, it's really nice having, like, ECS is a really nice paradigm, I guess you could say, or like architecture style. Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, it makes building hierarchies a little bit more complicated, for sure. You would need some component for handling that. No, I have not watched it. No, I have not seen it. I can watch it and then we can discuss it next stream, I guess. Because it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. I would need to go over it a little bit. Interesting. There's something that I don't even know. What is the Kruger entity model? Never heard of that. No, that's definitely worth the watch. I will do that. Texture storage. Well, texture storage properties. Let's look at that first. Let me quickly look at the video again, because there was a... No shade. Okay, let's look at that. Now I'm curious. I'm not sure how long the part about ECS is. But let's watch it. So is it just about that he complains that he has no spatial hierarchy?
And you start using link or attachment components. So for example, if we look at the comparison of the game object model with the ECS approach, in the one case I have one object that contains my character, and in the ECS I have 5 entities. And I have 4 attachment components that now specify that, hey, this entity is now attached to that entity at this socket, or this offset, or whatever. Right? Cool. 5 entities, 5 separate, distinct entities are now one character. That starts to become a headache. I wrote a big question about this, explaining some of the problems with something like a character customization system, where think of an RPG. Again, not an esoteric use case, relatively standard problem. We have a character, we want to customize them. They have a head, torso, arms, hands, feet, you know. Each one of those now becomes a new entity. And our character becomes 10 entities. And let's say we decide to do something like Escape from Tarkov, where they have a crazy gun thing. The gun becomes 20 entities. At which point does this start to... This is starting to spiral?
So, I mean, yes, he has a point, but an entity in the entity component system is not something you should care about or something that you should measure. Because an entity in an entity component system in a new one, it's just an integer. So it has literally 0 overhead. So I'm not agreeing with that part. He is right that you have, for this structure, you would have probably that layout, that you have five separate entities for this case, but most likely you would have an attachment, like a inventory or whatever component here that has like a link to the other entities, right? So that you can get from your character to the entities that are linked to your entity, to your character. But nonetheless, they would be separate entities. That is correct. But that per se is not an issue. And the issue that he has like 20 entities, I don't see it like that because it's just cheap. I don't know if it's harder to do that, but
like
yeah, I
Escape from
mean,
Tarkov, where they have a crazy gun thing. The gun becomes 20 entities. At which point does this start to? This is starting to spiral a little bit. If I want to get all the elements of character, I might now have to composite 20 entities together and do constant lookups and this and that. It becomes problematic, and it also becomes mentally taxing to start to kind of track all these components. And if you start having to do operations and across all of these components, you start to have issues.
Can't guarantee that all entities will have the position updated at the same time in the frame. Nah, I don't agree with that. You usually have like one system updating the positions. I mean, more or less, especially like for this kind of thing where it's like an attachment, you would have like one system that handles the attachments and then all the positions are updated at that point.
And the other thing is with the transform aspect of this is that with no spatial hierarchy, let's say I want to access the transform of a specific part. Let's say I want to take the sight of the gun. How do I know that the will transform is accurate at this point? Right? I have to get the will transform firstly. How do I do that? Well, I have to now get that information from its parent entity, which might have a parent, which you start having to look at all these things. So you have three options, kind of. You can kind of assume all the transforms will be frame lagged or wrong every time a transform changes. We can tell that, every time I ask for the will transform, I go up the hierarchy and I try to look up the parent entities every time and try to calculate that chain. I don't see any solution for this in any of the ECSs.
I mean, he has a point here. He has a point here that is a little bit problematic. But you kind of have the same thing with the other, like the old school components and game objects, just that the system does it for you. So you can build it in the ECS as well.
And you could say, well, we can start caching this hierarchy and stuff, but every frame, your ECS hierarchy can change. And now you have to update your cache. So it's kind of a similar problem. Well, Mika saying no reason to force everything. Well, that's unfortunately, if you only have an ECS in your engine,
probably will complain about the update order now, right?
It feels through disadvantages. I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. So there is additionally the problem of doing the update order issue of I have multiple systems. Those systems potentially, I have multiple entities, and those entities are attached to one another, but they have different logic. They need to run independently. I need to now schedule this entity to have its system run before this entity or so on. And I can't really reuse systems there because now the systems have to be running multiple times and do grouping and scheduling.
Yeah, you usually don't do that in ECS. And to be honest, I rarely know. He says that he would want to update an entity before another entity, but my question would be why would you want that? I've never really had the thing where I need to update an entity before another entity. Because usually it's like system based, like, or like game logic wise, right? Now we do physics, now we do, I don't know, aiming things, and now we do AI and stuff like that. It's not really that a certain entity needs to be updated before another. It's very rare that you would need that. I mean, he has some points, but then again, not really. I don't know. Hard to say. But I come from I worked now 1 year with an engine that is fully embracing the ECS. And it worked really nice. I think it was one of my most enjoyable projects in a long time. Is it hard to get used to it? Yes. Is it hard to understand the update loop of a frame? Definitely. it's really hard to like the learning curve to onboard on a fully ECS engine is like insanely high, because it's really hard to know what updates when, but when it works, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, not too sure if I agree with everything there. Actually, not don't really agree with a lot there, I would say. How would I? Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he complains about things that he wants to do just because he's probably used to like usual object oriented or the old school system, because you need to just rethink. So yeah, it is what it is. It's really not that it's really not that important. How would I want to, so basically I need to now give information to the texture to know if we are a normal texture or not, I think. Otherwise, I'm not sure how we would want to do that. Oh, sorry, music is gone as well. Of course. So I think I don't need any of those, or is that even used? Ah, that's very old code. I barely touched this texture storage thing in 2 years or something like that. And it didn't age very well, let's put it that way. Let's do that first. I guess we could, whatever. CPU access, GPU access, type, format. I think maybe I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So that is pretty much very old code where I even added some stuff that never was implemented, which I'm not sure if we will keep. So probably that doesn't compile now in a bunch of places. Not sure how I would want to do that, to be 100% honest. Mostly, I think what we will do, we will hack it a little bit and then we will do it nice and proper, I guess. Is normal texture, I guess. It's really bad, but what can you do? It is what it is. And I think we could get rid of this weird logic that we have here for the cool flag. Because I think once upon a time I thought I need to pack that better, but I think it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's... God damn it, I hate it. But anyways, that's were nice that we changed that, because the array access is actually slower than what we do here. Still more. I think I have a bunch of... Actually, I want to see that again. I have a bunch of pending changes again. I still need to commit again. Yeah, it's actually quite a lot again. I mean, yeah, it's actually not that much. Most of it is terrain related, so that's fine. But some of it is now mipmap generation, which we will need to submit independently of the terrain. And again, some beautiful clang formatting, which I mean is nice to do. And needed before we ship 06. Okay, whatever, let's not deal with that. Oops. There's a couple of... Well, let's hope that tomorrow I can do a lot of things. I want to get 06 soonish done. I say that already since a couple of weeks, but yeah, it's always something new. But at least the engine now has mipmaps, right? That's a win. And then slang kinda crept in for no reason, but I was curious to do it. That's the thing that I mostly do it as well for fun, so there is not really a fixed timeline, so to say. I just do whatever I feel like, which is a very nice thing to be able to do. Exactly. That's pretty much my goal as well. And we are soon there. I think the normal texture is the only thing that prevents me from doing it, which is why we do that. So that should work again. Yeah. Actually, we could... I mean, let's look at pretty terrain maybe. So render terrain. We can take out for now the normal, I guess. And that should give us somewhat decent look. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's very flat, of course. But I mean, yeah. No mip mapping or issues, or like the issue with the Moye pattern, right? The sphere, ignore it. The mip map, or like the texture is not correct there. But yeah, without normals it actually looks kind of sad, right? But now where is my sun? Where is the sun? There it comes. Yeah, I animated the sun. Well, animate. I changed the time of day. Come on. So now we have like a beautiful sunset. But I think there is as well an issue there that I think I need to offset the terrain a little. But yeah. Because it is dark too early, for sure. We don't have any. Why do we not? Ah, because it's probably because of that. We need a little bit of specular, right? Otherwise, it's very sad. Game core. Let's see what that looks like. Might be not the correct time of day, but let's see. Yeah, the time of day I actually need to convert to something that's more sensible, because that currently is just a float that goes up. And it's really not anything that has any relation to a time of day. And I think it would make sense if it's... It would probably for the time of day make sense if it's a value between 0 and whatever the amount of... Okay, yeah, that is not ideal. Let's do 10 maybe. Well, 10 might be too much. Let's do 8. And then I would... Actually, I'm not sure why the terrain is so dark there. Something I would need to as well find out. Because in my mind it should already be lit somehow there, but maybe not. Oh yeah, now it looks better. And we have a little bit of specular, perfect. Yeah, that's decent. The texture actually of the terrain looks pretty good. It's probably a little bit dark for what the light value should be. So that's still some tweaking as well that I need to do. Find a nice value for the illuminance of the, or like the intensity of the sky, intensity of the sun. Here we have as well this here. I mean, it looks already really good. Even without normals, it looks nice. But yeah, we still need the normals, because otherwise we have like this, which of course is wrong because the spec face shouldn't be lit. Well, okay. Enough of that. Let's try to get back to... So, in texture serializer... we need to do another beautiful hack. Yeah, this texture serializer is an abomination by now, to be honest. But what can you do? Image file. I think we have the hack here, right? Kinda. So basically what we do is we do this here. If our meta path generic string contains normal, well, it's probably a ignore case find. Is not string view impulse. Alright, and then storage probes is normal texture is true. Well, is normal texture that. But most likely it makes the most sense to add a enum for that. You can rewrite it in Rust. What? This one? The texture importer? Surely not. Or the whole engine? Surely not. Please no. I want to get done, not do something new again. Okay, so this should hopefully set this to true for the normal texture, and for the other one, of course, to false. Is normal texture is false, is true, is false. Perfect. Yeah, I think there is already a AAA. Aren't there already AAA games? Or like, I mean, maybe not AAA, but bigger games. I think there is already like they were already written with Rust. I thought I have read something about like one game that was written in Rust, which wasn't like too small. But I wouldn't be able to now name it again. But I thought, as I said, to have read something about that. But to be honest, I don't see it changing from C++ too soon. Because first of all, most of the proprietary engines are written in C++. And then Unreal is in C++, and Unreal is basically the engine that is currently more or less mainstream for any bigger project. So unless Unreal goes down, I don't see it changing from C++. Because to be honest, Unity is on the downward trend. Godot is, of course, in indie getting bigger, and I would probably say by now, I mean, maybe it's not bigger than Unity already, but it's I would say it's trying to get there. And then AAA games, if they don't have their own proprietary engine, it's Unreal. There is not a lot of companies that do C#, Unity, I mean. It's really a niche thing. Why now? I mean, it always was already, but yeah. Since Unity basically killed themselves 2 years ago or whatever it was. Yeah. Which is why Godot got big. I mean, Unity pretty much, yeah, did an insane self-sabotage. And that is, I mean, lucky or like, I mean, sometimes you have to have luck, right? And Godot definitely profited a lot of that. And the thing is that people are now a little bit wary with Unity, right? Because just because they went back once, it doesn't mean that they don't try to do the same thing in 1 or 2 years again. So that's why people shy away a little bit from it. Even though I think they hopefully learned from it and don't try it again. Okay, so we have the normal texture flag, and then we need to go to texture storage. And we need to change how we call that. Tab split, that's what I wanted. Let's see if we can get the mipmap texture working. What we need is okay, so this is the submit buffer, but I guess for that I need to now do image views per mip leveler for this to work. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I need to create image views on the fly. Per image. What am I saying? I need to create image views to the same storage, just with the different mip levels, so that I can write to it. That's what I wanted to say. Unless I can somehow... Can I somehow write to a specific mip? I guess I could load? Like, well, not the sampler, sorry. Image.load. But that doesn't work, right? It doesn't have a mip logic here. So yeah, I think I need image views per, and I guess I can delete them afterwards, because they can be only temporary. So we would do here more or less if normal texture, compute shader, else cmd split. That would be it, and then this is the split one, right? Although, hold on. First of all, that comment is wrong. Stupid. Actually, we would need to do this one here first. I mean, I guess we could do it in here. So basically we would upload the image, and then we as well do the image views per mip And then we do the compute shader. That would be the idea behind that. So maybe we do it in here, or I refactor this a little bit to like a. I think it would be nicer to read if it's an anonymous function here, probably. Generate or void generate map. Generate maps. Probably we do something more here though. Generate maps. Linear. Is that actually generate maps? Let's do that. And we do another one. Oops. Generate normal. And where is it? Of course I lost it. Oh, here. Prepare first map. I think it's like that, right? Generate maps. And let's see what we need. Okay, we need, of course, the properties. We need the image and everything. Okay, so most likely do we maybe do a uint 32t max map, and then we have a vec2 extends. We need a command buffer. To extends the max map. Okay, well that is. That is something. With this stance. Nah, not really. We didn't really talk about LLMs. Oh, okay, I guess. Is it a private function? No, it's a public function. Why would I even do... Why did I cast it to a command buffer? That's a different question that I don't really understand currently anymore. But let's do texture storage. Okay, so that should work. Ah, that's why it's casted. Okay, I see. Now I understand again. Okay. Does that not get handled? It's uppercase. Oh no. Well, that will be a fun refactor as well. What to use? It's a little bit of a mixed bag, I would say. It depends a little bit on the. So my company itself, we don't use AI, but we are a heavily co-development based studio, right? So we have a lot of teams working with other teams. So we work with machine games, for example, regularly. With the guys from Hitman IO Interactive, IOI Interactive, we work as well. And it really depends on those teams mostly. But overall, I would say it's still not that widespread in the games industry. It gets definitely more. But I would say compared to what I hear from other industries, the games industry is still pretty much just starting to use it. Yeah. Can't really say why it takes so long, to be honest. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it definitely is slowly getting there to be more used. And the company that I was working last for, they were using it quite a bit. And property size. Oh, it's a 3 vector, right? Yeah. So I guess we could do that. But yeah, I think I will call it a day. I'm too tired today to do that, to finish that today. But we will finish that tomorrow, the mipmap generation for the normal, and I hope that this fixes the last remaining issue of the terrain being like looking weird. If not, I will probably have to go back and probably do a long debug session. But most likely, even if it doesn't work out tomorrow with that fix for the normal texture, we will just keep working on 06 and ignore the normal texture for now. If texture, well, M properties is normal texture, then we do this, otherwise we of course do that. Yeah, I mean I can show it again, I guess. Let's comment that out. Yeah, the issue is that the normal texture looks sus. And I think it is because we are not renormalizing the normal currently. That's why in the distance it looks wrong. Because close up I think it looks fine. Oh, well, we don't have the normal texture currently. So now we are sampling the normals again. And I mean, yeah, it's dark, but I think this looks correct somewhat for the terrain texture. But actually, why does it look now fine? Hold on, what? I didn't do anything. Or is it just because it's so dark that you don't see the issue? Maybe it's with that. Let's change the time of day. Let's do 20, I don't know. Again, as I said, this is not really a time of day, it's an arbitrary value with which I calculate the sun direction. It's basically, I think, the sine or cosine value or something like that. I'm not sure anymore what it exactly is. And we need to change that as well to, as I said, a more sensible value. But I think now we should see the issue again, hopefully. If not, yeah, exactly like this here. I think you see it on stream, right? That the normals here look kind of weird in the distance. There's a weird pattern here in this area. And yeah, it's not just grazing angles, but mostly. But I have an isotropic rendering on, so it can't be that. I don't have a mouse cursor in OBS. Well, that sucks. Well, how would I show that now? Let me bring an entity there. No, wrong direction. Ah, well, almost. Yeah, here. In this area where the entity is, there's weird pattern on the surface of the terrain. I'm not sure again if you see it, but the area there looks kind of weird. And as soon as I go away, it's gone. Right now, it's not there anymore. But yeah, it's somehow with the grazing angles, but I think it's mostly the normals that are wrong, to be honest. At least I would want to try to fix the normal map first for the mipmaps and see if that fixes it. If it doesn't, we can still do something with the grazing angle, right? And turn down the normals in the distance if the angle is very narrow, like the grazing angle. Then we could turn down the normals, I guess. But I mean, here it looks really good already with this. I mean, maybe my displacement map is a little bit too much currently, to be honest. Maybe 10 centimeters is... I mean, it looks really nice, right? Maybe 10 is nice because it's like really bumpy here. It looks really cool. But maybe it's too much. I don't know. Where did my light go? Why did I select my light and now it's gone? Huh? How did I manage that? Oh, did I? What just happened? How did I do that? Interesting. I have even no idea how or what I did there, but fine. Beautiful. I mean, it looks really good already, the terrain. I'm really happy. And we can see that the light works, right, with the shadows. because we have if I come with the light here, we have red here. If I come with the light here, it's not red anymore, or not that much red. Well, I will be gone, penguin operators, so don't you worry. But yeah, this is why we need indirect light, because it looks weird, right? That it's fully not colored here, because it should bounce off a little bit. So that's a little bit too much. Anyways, yeah, we will finish the normal normal texture mip mapping tomorrow, and then we will hopefully have that fixed. It already looks kind of nice. On 06 it's actually nothing anymore, it's just fixing and finishing off the terrain. So 06 is just that. I mean, 06 grew way past its actual roadmap, because it was actually never planned to have slang in there. Was not even on the radar. And some other thing, like Clang format was as well not initially a thing on the radar, and then it kind of happened. I don't think I have it. Let me quickly try to find the roadmap. Because I, of course, did not have that open. Let me quickly bring it here. Perfect. Now we can see it. But on 06 there is nothing anymore. So 06 was just physics, editor and debug improvements. It got way beyond that, and we almost worked well, a little bit more than half a year already on it. Just because the terrain is always a little bit complicated, and the physics was complicated, and we went back and forth a little bit. But yeah. What did me... I think it was maybe actually some stuff that you said, maybe. I'm not sure. But I think you mentioned it once again, and then I looked at it and I was like, actually slang looks kind of sick, and it would be nice to have support for slang, especially with the features that I saw that it now has already with the reflection and everything. And the shaders are just way nicer to write, to be honest, because it got rid of a lot of stuff that I have had handwritten before, like the shader reflection and all that stuff is like way simpler and way nicer now. So I'm not looking back at that. It's like really a nice step forward for the engine, I think. Slang. But yeah, it was not on the list of things. But then it kind of happened. Oh yeah, editor improvement. It's all so long ago, but I think this as well was like undo redo system, right? This didn't exist before. So we started off 06 at the start of February with like the deep end editor undo redo system. Which is really nice already, but it's not 100% working yet, but it's pretty good. And then we did the terrain iteration plus physics, which as well took forever. But yeah, here this undo redo system, it's kind of nice. And it's back there. We did a whole lot of work on the property grid, which is like really not shown, but it's there. It's a lot of small things. I actually need to compile again the list for the release notes, but it's actually a lot that happened, but it's, yeah, just not that visible. So yeah, 07 would be the next thing, and then this is again probably a big chunk. But maybe I will reshuffle a little bit, I'm not sure. Because we just did a bunch of GPU stuff, so maybe we do something different for a change of scenery. I'm not sure. Although shadows would be nice. Yeah, 07 seems interesting, right? That's why it's there, kinda. I mean, not really, but I tried to build the roadmap in terms of what would be good to have, like in that order, basically. But then again, animation and audio is as well kinda important. We could as well. No, I might visit. I could as well look at AI for a change of pace. I could try to revive my behavior tree implementation. From back in the day. What's the unordered list here, actually? Oh yes, we still have water. We once started water, but then, well, I started water off stream, but then I never got far. That would tie in a little bit into the terrain, I guess. But probably I will do something smaller. It might not be like a full version, right? Maybe it's like 0.65 or something like that, and we do something less GPU intensive for a change of pace once I'm done. Like the debug replay tool, for example, would be something that has nothing to do really with GPU, so maybe we would look into that potentially, or audio. Yeah. I mean, AI can be kinda exciting without animations, but yes, of course, in the end, we will need animations for it. Just having a box move around, right, would already be kinda okay. But yeah, it would probably need... Eventually, it would need something like that. I think... Yeah, we will see what we will do. There is definitely a lot of stuff to do. We will not get bored, for sure. Let's hope I can finish 0.6 soon. It doesn't look that far away, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot, because we still have to... I mean, maybe tomorrow is a lot of progress, hopefully. Just finish off the normal maps thing, and then just keep pushing the CPU implementation of the terrain, and then we are... Then I can call it a day, even though there is not really editing of the terrain yet, but we can add that later again. Because you can already do kind of nice terrain just with the default setup of the terrain. I mean, we can try that tomorrow, I guess, or the day after tomorrow. Let's focus tomorrow on some progress on the code. So yeah, I will be here tomorrow. Probably, let me think. Yeah, we will be here probably at 11 my time, maybe 11:30 my time. I'm not too sure, but that should be possible. I have an appointment in the morning, but that should be about it. And I think I should be able to be at home at 11:30. Now we hopefully do another long stream, like the week ends before, so probably looking at 4 or 5 hours stream, hopefully, to get some stuff done. Yeah, 11 a.m. Well, 11:30 a.m. It's more likely, because I have an appointment at 10 So I think 11:30 would be the thing. So in I don't know how many hours. Anyways, I will go and relax a little bit. And yeah, we will see each other hopefully tomorrow. I will for sure start the stream earlier than Cakes, but that's not hard. Have a nice rest of your evening. And yeah, hopefully see some of you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.